and I think Pat went off to France with Johnny Halliday for a while, and we didn't see much of each other for probably several years.
But you still played on Sandy Denny's first solo album,
Yeah.
the third one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did you paths cross with Pat then, or was that all put down separately?
Oh no, we played together.
Played together.
Yes, we're still still doing it the old way.
Yeah. There's quite a difference between that first one you worked on with Sandy Denny and the third one, the Old Fashioned Waltz. There's lots more orchestration on Old Fashioned Waltz. How did you feel about the changes and
I mean, originally with Fotheringay, the group was everything. I don't think it ever crossed anybody's mind to sort of say, well, let's have strings on this, or you know, brass or anything like that. It was just a complete entity, and it was, I guess, it was by way of experimentation that things like backing singers and strings and other things came into being. I mean, some of it I thought was very successful. There's one solo thing that she did, sort of like a classical.
All Our Days?
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah, but some of it, you know, when I listen back, I think it was sort of overdone and maybe not so necessary.
Do you think she was under pressure to make a commercial record or something? Was that?
Yeah, I mean, Sandy was not. She didn't like the business. She didn't like people telling her she must do this and she must do that. She felt that she knew better, and she could also see right through everybody, and consequently, the band members sort of adored her for being the way she was and not trying to be a sort of glamorous singer with the usual sort of glossing over certain things, you know, and treading all over people to get somewhere. She was a softie. You know, that made it sort of special, I suppose. I mean, she had managers and all sorts of people, but she'd just frustrate them. They'd fix up a lot of interviews and she'd say, well, I don't want to do them. That's just not going to turn up, and that's that. I think she just tried to stay as far away from all that as possible, which also has its disadvantages, you know, because in a way you have to play the game to a certain extent.
It must have been lovely working with her. I mean, she was a great writer, and she was also, I think, not very often you hear about her musicianship, but she, as well as having that fantastic voice, she was also a
real person.
Do you ever listen to Fotheringay now?
I do. There's always a time when I'll revert, you know, when either life gets too hard, but you either feel as though you want to sort of go over things again and sort of wonder where you're going exactly, and I'll sit and listen to all those records and enjoy them a lot, because there's nothing else like it, you know. And the thing is, touring, I've sort of toured the States quite a lot recently with Richard Thompson, and before that I only toured with Cat Stevens, and you wouldn't meet so many people connected with the folk world or that knew much about this. And on these last tours, the amount of people that have sort of produced Fotheringay albums and you know, records that sold 2 copies, but you know, I haven't got one, you know, but they've got one somewhere. Incredible. Sort of many more of these went out than I thought.
That must be nice then, seeing as it was a special time. To think that it was a lot more popular than you ever thought. Maybe it just took a lot of time to filter out.
Well, the classic for me is we were in Japan. We were playing in Tokyo with Cat Stevens, and it was a very nice show. And came out the stage door, and a little Japanese guy said, Jerry Conway, you my heavy drummer. I went, oh, thank you very much. And I said, did you enjoy the show? And he said, not Cat Stevens, Fotheringay. And it's just I just gave him a hug.
Yeah.
It seemed wonderful.
I suppose it happens wherever you go.
Yeah.
I've asked so many things of Pat now, I've sort of run out of things to ask you. I wanted to ask you about BJ Cole, who played on some of those albums.
Yes.
Whatever happened?
I've seen him recently. He's, I think he's in a band called the Boot Hill Foot Tappers or something like that. I think it's a sort of country band.
In England?
Yeah, because I did a place called Dominion in Oxford, just off Oxford Street with Richard Thompson. He was another band on the bill, and I hadn't seen him for years. And before that, he was in a band with Andy Roberts, kind of a spoof country band that was quite successful in England, you know, on the sort of club circuit.
The pedal steel player of Britain, wasn't he? Every time you hear pedal steel on a British album, it's usually him.
Well, there are four actually that I know of.
In Britain. Yeah.
There's Jerry Hogan, who's very, very good, and Pat and I just worked with him on the Emmylou Harris tour, and he's great, and he's a semi-professional, and we used to try and coax him into being professional, but he wouldn't have it, you know. And then I hadn't seen him for 10 years, and I met up with him, and he said, "I'm going professional." It's now like 45, and the other guy was Pete Wilshire, and the other guy out of Southern Comfort, whose name escapes me. I'm not very good at all this anyway. People very rarely speak to me.
I really appreciate you.
Oh, it's all right.
Maybe I'll just ask you if you have a particular memory that you associate with working with Sandy Denny. In fact, tell me about the dog, putting the dog through the train window.
Yeah, I used to take it for walks. And it didn't have a bone or anything. It used to have a branch, you know, huge. Like, God, dear me.